let's see. That looks really far away. I don't know why it looks so far away. Anyway, maybe we come down a little bit. Okay. Yeah, and I think there might be some stuff on my camera. I have a cover on my camera right now. Kind of annoying because it's not the cleanest right now. I need to get a new cover. All right. Anyway, we're just gonna go with it. It might be slightly blurry. Apologies. I also have a dog hair in my eye. Okay. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Purls and Pyrs podcast. I am your host, Nina, otherwise known as Ine, on Ravelry, Instagram, and Pinterest. You can find information potentially about the episode in the space below. I think I did a good job the last time, maybe the time before that. I'm not really sure. Yeah, so thank you all for joining me. It's been a couple of weeks, and that's mostly because we had Joshua's birthday party, finally. We had to move it around. That's why it was all crooked and weird. Anyway, sorry, I'm going to stop messing with the camera. We had to move it around a bit for trying to get more friends to come because of sports. Apparently it's baseball season right now, and a lot of his friends play baseball. He does not play baseball, so unfortunately, I cannot get that pure hair off my eye. Unfortunately, there were not many kids that were able to come. He had a couple of kids from his jiu-jitsu class, one from school, and then one friend stopped by and just dropped a gift off, which was very nice, but they had to go to a baseball tournament. So anyway, the mom said we need to try to plan something over the summer. It's really hard right now with sports, which, yeah, you know. So, in preparation for that, I was cleaning up the house, and we did kind of a last flurry of cleaning that weekend. Joshua went on a bike ride with his friends by himself, which was the first time that happened. They were at the park, and then they kind of rode around a bit and went to like this pizza place. They figured out a back way to go so they're not on major roads. And yeah, then they went to Big Y, which is like our local grocery store. So yeah, it's just been really busy, but I have been knitting, and I now have a clean house, which is good. We still don't have our car back. It's been 3 weeks now, and it's supposed to be ready tomorrow, but they said one of the parts that they ordered, the tail light, came in broken. So they have to order a new one, which they're hoping will come tomorrow. We had a rental car for like a week, but our insurance coverage did not include rental coverage. And even though it's the other person's fault, they said we would have to get reimbursement back from that insurance company. And there was already issues with that. So we just didn't want to spend the money. We're like, you know, it's like $300 a week, $330 a week for renting a car. And it's just a lot. So I've just worked from home. I took today off. I'm taking tomorrow off. And then Monday is Memorial Day in the US. So it'll be a 5-day weekend, which is nice. And yeah, so hopefully by then we'll have our car back. Hopefully. So anyway, I have a finished object. I have some stash acquisitions. I have some pattern acquisitions. I have obviously whips and some cross stitch to share. So yeah, let's get into it before I ramble for like 10 minutes. And I already have a bunch of stuff I have to cut out in the beginning. So my finished object, which is not blocked yet, it's only blocked on the top. So I blocked it before I separated for the sleeves, just to make sure that the yoke was the depth that I wanted. And then I've just knit in it. But I'm going to block it probably this evening. Maybe after I record this. I don't know. It is my Avondale tee. This is a pattern by Tammy Gore. I knit it out of Plies and Hellhounds on the Lucent base in the Indusworm colorway. It was part of the folklore collection from 2 years ago. I mean, not last year, but the year before. Last year was Dragons. This year is Wheel of the Year. The year before that was folklore. So I'm doing all of kind of folklore projects, I feel like. This year I'm really digging into some of that stash, which is nice because I bought a lot of 2 skein quantities because it is the blend that she sells that has silk in it. So I thought it would make really good kind of spring summer tees, and it absolutely does. So I will hold it up for you. It's biasing a little bit because it's not blocked on the bottom, but it has this really pretty lace detail down both sides of the top. Bring it a little closer. And this is actually very memorizable lace. So once that kind of clicked with me, I was able to do it without the chart at all. I was able to knit it at work while I was talking to people. It's great. So yeah, it's on both sides of the tee. And I added on picked up ribbed neckline. The tee originally doesn't have that. It leaves the neckline unfinished, but I didn't like how curly mine was, so I just picked up 2 stitches for every 3, and I worked a center double decrease in the point of the V. And I just did a couple rows. I think I did like 4 rows, just enough so it wasn't going to curl. Yeah, so then the funny thing, I was looking at Ravelry because I couldn't think how people had finished it. Like, did they do a big rib on the bottom of their tee? Did they do a small rib? So it's just kind of looking to get an idea of what it looks like with different ribbing on the bottom. And I found Steph's Yarns had made it. And I was like, oh, my sweater sister, what did she make it like? She made it literally in the same yarn, like the same colorway. So like, whether we try to or not, we like have the same mind when it comes to like sweaters we want to knit and yarn pairing is with them. We've basically knit the same sweaters like many times. So Stephanie, we did it again. But her Indusworm looks really good as well. The thing that I changed about the pattern is I did a lot of waist shaping. So I think I worked a total of 7 waist decreases, and I did them on either side of this lace panel. And I think I maybe started doing increases again, like round about here-ish. So my rate for decreases was 1 decrease every 7th row coming down. But then the increases, I did 1 every 12th row. So I only went back up 3 sets of increases. And the very last one was right before I did the ribbing. So I did not go back up to nearly as many stitches as I went down. But I think that's fine. That is more of how I'm shaped, and I'm trying to do a better job of knitting. I feel like I've kind of got away from knitting sweaters that fit me really well. I used to knit sweaters that fit me really well, and some of the older ones I have, I like better. I like the fit better than some of the newer sweaters that I've knit. So I'm like, I need to go back to the sizing I was using before, because I think I strayed to like knitting more like a 42-inch bust. And then I just can't fit all of the decreases in that I need. I used to like very regularly knit a 38-inch bust, which more corresponds with my upper bust, and I was happier with them. I think because I don't need to work as many decreases. So I'm trying to do that. I don't think this pattern came in a 38. I think it was a 40, and the next size down with it was a 36, which I thought would be a little too small. So that's why I think I had to work that ridiculous amount of decreases. But to make up for that, I was like, okay, well, I'm going to work a lot of decreases, and I'm going to be very aggressive about it. So anyway, I think it's great, and I'm very happy with it. I made the same kind of length as my Salty Air Tee, which I really like a lot. I think it's going to be really pretty with like jean shorts, and I got these linen pants, like a khaki color linen pant from Costco, which they're really nice. They're very flowy and cool. I wore them yesterday because it was in the 90s yesterday, and today it was a high of 60. So that was our spread. We went down 30 degrees overnight. I am not complaining. Early May is way too soon for it to be in the 90s in Connecticut. That is too hot for me. So I used a little bit under 2 skeins of this yarn. I think I maybe had knit it a bit longer than the pattern called for, because the pattern has it be a bit cropped. It's styled in Tammy Gore's photos as over a dress. So I think she worked it in that kind of shorter length for over dresses, but I don't really wear dresses, and I definitely don't wear dresses with my new job. Pants are kind of the thing. So I worked it a little bit longer. But like I said, it's the same length as my Salty Air Tees, which I know that I love, and they fit me really well. So I have no concerns. Oh my gosh. Hubble went from over in the other side of the room to leaping over the footrest and then looking out the window. I really hope there's not going to be delivery drivers. Please don't break my ball winder, sir. These socks, I've shared a couple of times. I left my marker where it was. It's the neighbors. Stop it. So these are Valkyrie fibers. I think the colorway is Under the Mountain. I bought it from Bailey's D-Stash. Yeah, so I'm ready to put the heel in now. It's funny because I said I didn't want to be on the green stripe, and that's absolutely where I am. So I knit an extra 2 rows of gray just to have a little bit of separation, because my greens are not the same color. This one's more yellowy and this one's more bluey. I don't know what to do though, because this is the closest that I can get. I don't really have any of the browns, and I don't really want a gray heel. I kind of want a colorful heel. So I'm just going to go with the green and whatever. Just for me anyway. Yeah, so I knit a considerable bit on those. And these are kind of my new sock project. So I've kind of got them next to me on the couch. Or when I want to knit on something really simple, I've got those to go to. Where's my other socks? My other socks I've got thrown into my leather handbag. My 70s leather handbag that's been ever thrifted. Sorry, there's a lot of crumbs. Must have been something under that. I vacuumed in here recently. That's weird. Ada, please be nice, girl. Come on now. Okay. This was another new cast on. And I was going to do the vanilla latte pattern, which is like you just slip one, knit one when you get to a new color change. However, I didn't realize that it has uneven color blocks or stripes. Excuse me. So I didn't do it. I'm going to have them be just vanilla because I thought it would look weird if I had a slip stitch pattern and then it was all different like widths of stripes. So this is Knit Picks Felici Dark Side of the Rainbow, I think. So yeah, I just kind of started it how I found the ball. You know, wherever it began is where I began my socks. I did, I think, a 25 row cuff because I didn't want to start the stockinette partway through a color stripe. So I just did the stockinette at the very end of that color change to do the one row before, you know, so I wouldn't get weirdness of transitioning on a knit purl row. But yeah, we'll see how they come out. They're a little weird right now. This made me really think of like Jamaican crocheted hats that were really big in like the 90s. It made me think of that. Just up to here, I was like, okay, what am I knitting here? And then once I put the purple and blue, now it doesn't look like that. But yeah, hopefully I'll get through a full like repeat so I can have the whole rainbow on the leg. I think I'll probably do a black heel for these, or maybe red. I think those are the two colors I have of plain Felici. I have black, I have red. I had a blue, but I can't remember if I had to throw it away. I feel like that's the one that Hubble shredded the ball when he was a puppy. So I'm not sure I have any of it anymore. I may have been able to salvage some of it, but I may have just written it off and thrown it away because there were huge parts of it that were shredded. And at a certain point, I don't want to deal with slobbery, tangled mess. So yeah, I might have thrown it away. But anyway, I know I have red and black, so I'll do one of those colors probably. But anyway, this is my Costco knitting project. Incidentally, we've also been reading in the car. So I am reading to Josh, my husband, and Joshua, my son, the White Mountains Tripod Trilogy, or the Tripod Trilogy, which begins with The White Mountains by John Christopher. It is an excellent series. I read it in middle school, and I have read it again as an adult. I loaned it to my friend Andrea to read because she also remembered reading it in middle school. If you like science fiction and kind of YA, kids coming from behind, it's a really good series. Like, it's good. I think it was written in the 70s. Let me see, when was it published? 1970 was its first edition. And then the second edition was 1988. It's pretty hard to find now. But yeah, I got my set in 1988. So that is what I have. I also have the second book in there because we are a good way through the first book. We read probably like 15, 20 pages on the drive to Costco. So that's where we are. We're not even quite halfway yet, but it does go pretty fast. The print is not tiny, but it's also not huge print. Yeah. So it's a good, like, if your kids are reluctant readers, because Joshua does not enjoy reading at all, which breaks my heart because I love reading and I loved reading at his age. That was basically all I did, like to the point where my mother would be concerned sometimes that I hadn't been outside. And I read much more difficult books than these, but yeah, so it makes me sad. But he has been like really drawn into the story. He's been talking about, oh, I'm imagining what if I was that boy in the story. So good stuff. Anyway, that was a big digression from what I wanted to say. Yeah, so then other whips I'm working on. This is my cross stitch whip. So we'll flip to cross stitch for a little bit. Because I had been kind of telling myself, well, first off, I bought a bunch of cross stitch patterns. I'm saying a lot, and I'm sorry. There was a set of patterns that I really wanted. They were dragons with various different foods. And I can see if I can pull them up on my tablet while I'm talking to you. Because they are so cute. And I've never seen anybody stitching them, which is kind of sad. They are on the Wizardy website. wizardy cross stitch. Yep. Goodness gracious. And I was really, really sad because I had sent a picture of one of them to Tommy from Moonstone Makes podcast. Sorry, Tommy hasn't podcasted in a while, and I was like blanking on her podcast name. Anyway, good thing I had, because I took a screenshot, but I saved... I sent her the image, basically. Let's do croissant. Dragon with croissants. So I sent her the image, and I was going through my images on my phone to delete old stuff. Thank goodness, because I could not find this anywhere. And like, I was watching floss tubes trying to find it. And there was another artist I was looking for their work as well. I'm going to make it bigger. And luckily, this had the link on it. So I was able to find it again. Right? Is it not so cute? So this lady has a whole series of these dragons sleeping on various things. This one is Dragon with Croissants by Nadezhda Kazarina. I think she is from... I'm not even sure it'll say. But anyway, it's her artwork. And she has designed all kinds of these adorable, adorable dragons. So I bought a ton of them because I have wanted to make them. And I was like, oh my gosh, I finally found them. I'm terrified I'll never find them again. This is another one I really want to make. Do not get off my screen. Ew. Freaking Alexa? No. Yucky. I don't even know how I made that happen, but I'm very unhappy about AI. I don't want it in anything to do with me. This is a very old Amazon Fire too, and whenever it craps out, I will never buy another Amazon tablet, but also I understand that rampant consumerism is not good, so I'm going to use the things I have. I have it disabled in background, and hopefully I didn't just re-enable it. So it's this cute little dragon sleeping on books, and there's cookies, and there's candles, and it's so cute. Isn't it the cutest, sweetest little thing? Let's see if I can make it go. Oh, there's more images the other way. So it kind of shows you on different... I don't know if that's part of the pattern or not. I don't think it is. Anyway, there it is, framed. So cute. So anyway, I want to make several of these. I got the croissant dragon. I got that book dragon. There is a dragon with a teapot. There's a knitting dragon. Let's see. The dragon with the teapot is really cute as well. The Halloween dragon with pumpkin. It's wearing a little witch hat. And there's like a broom. There's potions. There's mushrooms. There's a crystal ball. It's so cute. So anyway, I bought basically all of them. There's 8 of them in this collection in all. Yeah, there's knitting dragon. I don't think I saw the autumn dragon with pumpkin. It's a bagel. I definitely did not see that one. Whatever. I have so many. I probably won't even knit all the ones. this was the other one that I really, really wanted, is the dragon with blueberry muffin. Because there's also Oreos. And I think I even have some fabric that's like this, that's polka dotted. And I want to make it on the polka dotted. And it's inside a knitted sock. Do you see? It's in a little knitted sock bed. I cannot. Yeah, they're so cute. So anyway, I bought those, and then I was like, Nina, you're crazy. You have bunches of frosted pumpkin stitchery that are not done yet. What are you doing? But also, that's a little bit weird because I have so many whiffs with knitting, and they don't bother me. So I was thinking about it, and I think it's just that, like, when I was growing up, I only worked on one cross-stitch project at a time. And I worked on it until I finished it. And I did not have a bunch of different ones that I kind of did stuff with. So it's just like a reset of my mindset. That it can be like knitting, and you can have more than one width, and that's okay. And you can have supplies, which are like projects, and have patterns waiting for you to knit up. So that's fine. The other ones that I really wanted, there's an artist named Ivy Dollamore, and she does really amazing artwork. And so on Unconventional X Stitch, she had some charts of her work. Because she's not, I don't know if she's a cross stitcher or not. She sells diamond painting kits of her artwork. But her artwork, she actually, draws it in various mediums. She does electronic, or what do you call it? Digital art, sorry. She does digital art, but she also does like canvases, watercolors, gouache, all of those things. And so her pattern for the Rose Library was being licensed through Unconventional X Stitch. And it's this beautiful artwork of two women sitting together in like this gorgeous library. And they both have witch hats on. And it's just really pretty and colorful and beautiful. And I had it in my cart to buy the pattern. And then Google ate my tab. So I went back to Chrome and I was like, okay, I have my job now. It's fine. I'm going to buy it. That was when Google got rid of history tabs. So if they were inactive for more than a certain amount of time on your phone, it would close them. And it just purged them from history. So I couldn't find these charts anywhere. I didn't know which site I had been on, and I couldn't find them. And so then eventually I was watching a floss tube, Adelaide Stitches, and she was talking about Unconventional X Stitch, and she said, oh, I got a bunch of Ivy Dollamore charts because she was retired from Unconventional X Stitch. And I was like, no. So, long story short, or long story long, her charts are currently not available. There are a couple of art pieces that are available, but not that one. And so then I started following her on Instagram. Her Instagram handle is Ivy Alive. And I saw that she was doing some art conventions and stuff, but didn't say anything about cross stitch. And then she said that she had been ill, so she kind of wasn't doing any artwork, and she had to cancel some of her convention stuff. And then she just put up a post just talking about her artwork through the years and stuff, and saying she had new things coming. And I said, I commented and said, I just found your Instagram. I was going to buy your cross stitch, but explained the story I just said. And I said, do you have any plans to license with anywhere else? And she said, oh, that's one of my plans. I'm going to be making my own cross-stitch charts for my work. And I was like, great. And she said, are there any particular pieces that you would be interested in seeing as cross-stitch charts? And I will try to make sure that, I'll prioritize doing those. So I mentioned Rose Library. The Herbalist's Helper is amazing. It's this piece where there's a woman sitting at a desk, and it has like one of those beautiful apothecary cabinets in front of her, and she has like a white ferret on her shoulder, and there's just like sunlight coming in. It's got so much depth to it. And I was like, it would take me a lifetime to stitch it, but I would, love to have the opportunity to do that one. And then there's one, I think it's called Greenhouse Witch. And it's a woman who's like out in a greenhouse, and she has, I think there's a cat in the foreground, and she's like magicking a watering can around to water things. So I think that one would be really cool as well. So yeah, she responded back and said she would try to prioritize those when her health is better. And I said, yes, of course. You take care of you first. So anyway, yeah, she said when her Etsy shop is open again, there should be cross stitch there. So if you're into cross stitch and you like sort of whimsical, magical scenes, Ivy Dollamore she does great work. Yeah. This is a long tangent. So, I had told myself that as it gets warmer, I'm going to focus on trying to work on my cross stitch more, because I start to not want to knit as much in the summer. I switched to more focusing on socks. I'll do like my Rhinebeck sweater, but other than that, I don't do as much knitting. So I was like, I'm going to try to do a bit of cross stitch every weekend so that I can move things along. So I started working on the Halloween wreath by Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. It was a year-long stitch along a few years ago. The idea is that you would stitch a wreath. There were 11 clues, I think it was 10 or 11 clues. It came out right after Halloween that year, so it came out in November. And the idea is that you would begin stitching, you would be done in September, and then you would have instructions for your final clue to make it into a pillow. So you would have the pillow ready to display for Halloween the next year. I didn't do it, but I did buy the kit. So I have all of the threads. I've got the called for fabric. So it's a picture of this plus, but I don't know what the picture of this plus color is. It might be pewter or something like that. I don't know. It's been too long ago since I bought it. Ow, just hit my toe on the table. Sorry about that. I am using a needle minder from... That one's from like the story. There was a storybook characters one, and I haven't made that one either. I started it. I've only done one of the little characters, and I think it was Jane Eyre was the one that I did. But anyway, I'm almost done with the first clue, guys. I'm so excited. So this is going to be the center of the wreath. So it's a super cute haunted house. So what I have left to do is this has a little stained glass inset in the window. There's a little curl of smoke coming out of the chimney. And then I have the little side roofs to do on both sides. And then there's a little bit of, what would you call that? Like bricks, like a brick sidewalk on either side of the door. And I think it ends kind of level with the door. But it goes like this at an angle, because at the bottom of the wreath, there's a big bow. Like you would have a ribbon on the bottom of a wreath. So, yeah, I'm hoping I will be able to finish this weekend. because it's a long weekend, because it's a 5-day weekend for me. I will stitch a little bit on it after I finish recording. It's off at an angle because I tightened my fabric, so it's not going to be all weird like that. My Q-snap is not evenly tightened right now. Yeah, it's been really fun to stitch it. I'm enjoying it. My next section, I'm actually going to go kind of out here to this wedge is the first one. And there's like a little cat. There's some candy corn. There's like a little lollipop. It's in here, but it's folded up inside of the other chart, so I can't look at it to tell you. Yeah, so it'll be fun. I'm excited to share it as it comes along. And this was one of my 12 cast-ons for the 12 cast-ons make-along that Angela hosts from the Yarn and Yarns podcast, but she said cross-stitch counts, so I'm counting it. Yeah, so the Halloween wreath from Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. Okay, have I worked on anything else? Yes, I have worked on something else, but I don't know which bag it's in. Gosh, I just had it earlier today. Oh, yep, I do know. Okay. Fine. It's fine. I'm fine. The other thing that I really put any progress into is this sweater. This is the Tiny Dancer sweater. It is supposed to be a drop shoulder slip stitch pattern. I am a little bit concerned that the neck will be too tight. I followed the pattern instructions. So let's see if I've got a picture of it. Yep. So it's by Lyrical Knits. So it's, you see it? So it has this kind of boat neck, and it's supposed to be a little bit of a drop shoulder. You do the front and the back, this slip stitch pattern, and then the sleeves are just plain. Pick up and knit later. So obviously you work the front, put that on hold, work the back, and then join in the round where you, below the underarms, right? Where you would like separate for sleeves. So in the pattern, she calls for casting on very tightly because she said it will pull off of your shoulders. If you cast on loosely, that will like stretch and come off your shoulders. However, well, that is definitely spam. Look how tiny it is. Like, it does stretch to fit. It will stretch enough to fit. But I'm worried when it stretches that much to fit, it's going to be pushing up against my throat. So I am going to continue it enough to see. I probably will go down to where I would underarm separate, and then I will block it. I'll wash and block it, and then I will try it on because I want to see what it'll look like / feel like when it's relaxed. I think I did try it on earlier. It will go over my head, right? It'll go over my head. That's fine. But like, I think these points are supposed to be like down here. And yeah, when I stretch it, it is absolutely up against my neck like that. Like this hard cast on is pushing on my neck. And I wish I hadn't listened to the pattern instructions because I don't like that it's this tight. And because it's a cabled cast on, it's not going to stretch at all. So I kind of don't know what to do. Because the way that you do it, it also would be really hard to like cut and unravel to go back. I think it would be really hard. So I might have to frog it. I might have to frog it and restart it. Oh, which makes me so mad. It makes me so mad because it was a lot of knitting. But I'm not going to be happy with it, and I think I won't wear it. If it feels like that, I won't wear it. So I think I'm going to have to frog it and restart it, which, I mean, whatever. It was fun to knit. This is a fun pattern. Like, this part is really fun and very easy. It's a very memorizable chart. So even though you're working, forwards and backwards for the chart, it's quite easy to memorize. Yeah, and I think if I didn't have such a tight cast on, it would stretch very nicely. The other thing that I don't love, I figured it out later how to do it, but you do wrap and turns. So all of this is accomplished with short rows, obviously. But you wrap and turn and pick up stitches kind of on both sides. And so I was screwing up the pickup here. You can see like when I was picking up on the wrong side, I wasn't doing it right. And then here, I like watched a tutorial for how to pick up the bar properly, and it is invisible here, but I can absolutely see it here. Now, nobody's going to come up my shoulders and look at it and go, oh, you don't know how to pick up your stitches. But, if I have to redo it anyway, it will be nice to do that the right way the whole way through. And the same thing here. You can see, like, I did it fine a couple times. I don't know how I was doing it fine. I messed that one up. I messed these up. This side, I messed them up all the way, and I just happened to do it right a few times. But this side is where I watched the tutorial. So I would have to watch the tutorial again because I honestly don't remember how I did it. But yeah, I think I might have to frog and redo, which is a real shame. Yeah. So anyway, whatever, it's fine. I've frogged whole sweaters before. I need to just get over myself. The colors are great. I love them. It's Ahuisodal is the gray, and Pink Fluffy Llamacorns is the multicolored pink. It's very pretty. So that is kind of it in terms of work that I've done. I also want to cast on with this yarn. This will be my next cast on, and I had highlighted my size for this. I'm going to knit the Silverberg by Joji Locatelli. I don't know how I missed this pattern coming out. It is beautiful, and it came out like a year ago, and I never even saw it. So it is this really pretty diamond lace going down the front, and then you probably can't see it, but there's like pearl ridges on the body of the sweater. I think it's so pretty. She knit hers in like a pale pink with speckling, very similar to Indusworm, funnily enough. And I actually saw this in her Joji & Co. for like her bags, because I was looking for boots. Because she did some boots, like a run of boots. Andrea, you got some, and I don't remember if that was a one-timer or if she does them sometimes. But anyway, I was looking on the Joji & Co. website thinking, oh, maybe she'll have information about those boots somewhere. And I saw her with a bag with this sweater on, and I was like, what is the sweater? I need to know what the sweater is. And luckily, she put it in her text with her Instagram post. It said what the sweater was. And so I was like, oh, I need to check that out. And I was like, that's one of her designs. What the heck? When did I not see this? So I was like, okay, I need to go buy this pattern. And this is going to be my next cast on. So for the Silverberg, I am going to knit it out of my Lola Bean Yarn Co. in the City So Nice, they named it twice colorway. This was the 2019 2020. This is the 2020 VKL colorway. I feel like I did go to VKL in 2020 because it was January and it was right before we knew COVID was a thing, right? I feel like it was 2020. I've only been to 3 VKLs. 2. No, I've been to 2. I went to the 2019 one because we moved here in 2018. So 2019 I went to VKL, and 2020 I went to VKL. Yes, so this was absolutely 2020 because this was not my first VKL. It was my second one. So this was her show colorway, Lola Bean Yarn Co. I think this is on her wax bean base, which has silk in it. And I don't have the tags in here. I don't know what I did with my tags for it, but I need to find them. I just wound one of them up yesterday. So one I've had caked for a really long time. What's this one? Because I started something in it and I didn't like it. I was trying to do color work, I think. So I had this as the main color, and then I had a very dark, like plummy purple as the contrast, and I just felt like it got lost with all of this beautiful speckling. This beautiful speckling needs to be like its own thing, but it's gorgeous. It's just every color of the rainbow. And the base of it is like a warm gray. So that's what I'm going to do my Silverberg out of. I think it'll be really nice. I'm running low on battery. That's great. That's fine. Yeah, so that's going to be my next cast on. I have my needles free because I'm going to use the same ones that I used for the Avondale tee. It's going to be good. I have it in this bag from my friend Sue. She made it for me out of like one of those, like the dish drying mats, you know? So it's fun. And then the other project that I want to bring out of hibernation is this one. Because it's been on my needles for years and it needs to be completed. It has on it my very first stitch marker that I bought from Chromatic Yarns. It's like a beaded lizard. And this is the Warm Breeze cardigan from Pink Hair Girl Designs. Does she still go by Pink Hair Girl Designs? I don't know. I tested this pattern for her. I never finished that cardigan, but the test only required getting down to sleeve separation. So I have 2 of these. This one is the second one I knit. The one I knit for the test is out of a really dark cherry color. I think it's black cherry is the colorway. But this colorway is Azul Polita from Malabrigo. It's Malabrigo lace. So this is a lace weight cardigan. I think it will be a really nice summer cardigan because it's got the warmth, but it's not super heavy. And at work, the AC is just like super, super strong. They blast it. I'm trying to get this texture. So the thing about it is it has this texture pattern down the sleeves. And I think that also goes down the body on the sides with these little eyelets. But as you can see, it's very lightweight. So you can kind of see through a little bit, but that means it'll be really nice for a summertime cardigan. So I'm gonna bring this out of hibernation. I'm gonna work on it and hopefully get, you know, down to where I'm separated for sleeves on this one as well. But yeah, I've had this yarn in my stash for probably a good 10, 15 years maybe. It's been a long, long time, and it needs to be knit up. So anyway, people are home. I'm going to stop there. Thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you saw some things that you are excited about and maybe got some new ideas. And yeah, please comment what kind of things you guys are working on and how you're enjoying your weather. I'm very jealous of people in Australia right now that are going into their cold season because I'm not excited about going into the hot season at all. I do not like heat. Don't like it. I could live perpetually in autumn and winter. Spring is okay too. I just don't like summer. So anyway, until next time, I hope you all get some time to do the things that you love and stay safe. And I will talk to you soon. Bye.